Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. Happy Thursday to you. It was nice and warm today, and lots to get to for sure. Hope everyone had a great week and is excited for the first weekend without football. Joe Calabra here, Rich Capaldi alongside in the virtual room. Hello, Mr. Rich. How are you doing today, buddy boy? Absolutely. I know you're excited about golf because, as you sent me a picture earlier this week, you just bought yourself a not brand new, but a new, but a new Scotty Cameron putter, which means you're gonna be putting the lights out of the ball this year. So you better win every friggin' tournament that you play in. It basically is what that means. So you got the new Scotty though, so you were pretty pumped about that. You got a good deal on it. So. Absolutely. So that's exciting for you, and certainly tons to get to. There's a ton of SHIT going on in the national world of golf. Obviously, we have the Saudi stuff, which we're going to try to get to later because it's basically just chaos. Every day is literally like something new, some new report, some crazy somebody tweeting something. So we'll get to some of that as well. So tons of stuff going on there. Obviously, a fascinating tournament going on this week in Riviera. We had a Tiger Woods press conference yesterday, which I thought was kind of discouraging, to be honest with you. um, yeah. Yeah, he kind of just said, "I don't know when I'm going to be back." He didn't necessarily rule out an appearance at the Masters Par Three contest. If he plays that with Charlie, that'd be cool. Hmm. British Open, U.S. Open, U.S. Open's after the Masters. Yeah. No, it doesn't. It didn't seem like it after Wednesday's press conference. But he gave some, I guess, good insight as to he hasn't been practicing much as far as long game stuff. He can chip and putt like a lot of this is what he said before. And he said he's not gonna play a full schedule. Well, he's really never played a full schedule, at least over the last 5 or 6 years. Like he's always picked and chooses his events anyways. So now it's just like a more formal announcement that he's doing that. Right. So we have that on the table. Tiger Woods talked to the media yesterday. We had a recap of it, or I had a recap of it shortly after the press conference came to a close, as he was talking to the media because obviously he's a sponsor, or this week's tournament benefits his foundation, I guess. So that's why he was there. I'm assuming, I guess you should never assume, but I'm assuming he's going to have an appearance with Jim Nantz this weekend in the booth like he had last year where he looked like crap. So I'm assuming we'll get more news out of the tournament this weekend if he goes up into the booth with Nance and those guys. I'm not sure if he'll do it Saturday, Sunday, or both, but whichever it is. I'm expecting to get more news out of that this weekend as well, so we'll keep tabs on that. Before we get to any more stuff, as I almost forget, the Golf Dudes podcast is presented by Lynx Drinks. Lynx Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. A transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice, all mixed up into one refreshing beverage. Check out Lynx Drinks at country clubs and liquor stores near you. And good luck to the boys this weekend at the Connecticut Golf Show. So Lynx Drinks will be there. So if you're going, if you're from Connecticut and you're going down there, or you're just making the drive from Rhode Island, check out Lynx Drinks. They will have a booth at the Connecticut Golf Show, which is at the Connecticut Convention Center. So there is that, and of course we're excited to see Lynx Drinks in about a month or so at the Northeast Golf Show over at Gillette Stadium. Excited to do some content with them, and also hopefully see our friends from Penn there. I had a great conversation with Penn today, and and they're launching a new product actually in a couple months. They're launching a brand new rangefinder in a couple months, but I'll let them give details on that when they're ready to announce it. But that's the insight I got from Penn today. I had a nice call with them. So anyway, enough about us. Lots going on. Some stuff going on locally. Nothing too crazy. Heartbreaking tournament for Will Dixon on Monday in the Korn Ferry Tour qualifier. He missed a six-way playoff. He missed a six-way playoff by one shot to get into this week's Korn Ferry Tour event. But he played well. He finished 5 under for the tournament. Playoff was at 6, so he'll be back in action next week on the G Pro Tour. This week's Korn Ferry Tour tournament. Now that we do a ton of Korn Ferry Tour coverage, but I put the story up last night. Steven D'Alicio, who was the 2019 Mass Amateur Champion, he actually qualified for the Korn Ferry Tour event. He was one of the guys that was in the playoff. I didn't recognize the name. He went to college at Duke, won the Mass Amateur in 2019. Obviously trying to make it on the pros. He's 3 over through 16 holes. Play was suspended due to darkness today in the first round. Other names in this particular Korn Ferry Tour event are Aaron Baddeley. Remember Aaron Baddeley? He's now at the Korn Ferry Tour, and my guy Peter Uline is playing in the field. So good luck to Steven for the rest of the tournament. Like I said, the rest play was suspended today due to darkness. He's 3 over through 16 holes. So there's that. On the college scene, Davis Chatfield moved up 1 spot in the latest PGA Tour University rankings released on Wednesday. He's now 70th, so he keeps climbing every week. He still obviously has a long way to go. Notre Dame will be back in action to start their spring season, I think next week, so good luck to them. And Patrick Welsh had a great week, finished 6th at the Puerto Rico Classic after a first round 62 on Sunday. He's had the lead after round 1. He ended up finishing 6th, and he didn't move in the PGA Tour University rankings at all this week, up or down. So I'm not really sure what they take into account. He had a great week and didn't move. But anyway, it was good to see him shoot 62. Not too bad. Bogey-free 62. He eagled 18. So, yeah, not bad. Then he followed up with 2 rounds of 2 under par 70. Obviously, it was tough to keep the momentum going after a 62, because you can't really get better than that. But it was pretty fun to watch. It certainly carried out traffic on Super Bowl Sunday, so thank God for that 62. So it's nice to see him playing well. Oklahoma won the Puerto Rico Classic. They are the number 1 team in the country, as they usually are. So good for them. So we'll keep an eye on that stuff. And again, it's going to be interesting because the Welch and Chatfield and even Andrew O'Leary, to a lesser extent, but they're all in their last college golf season. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do if they turn pro, if they play maybe one more run at the amateur circuit over the summer and see what happens, or if they try to go for it. So it's going to be interesting to watch these guys over the course of the next couple months to see how they play and then what they do after. I'm hoping they come back to the Northeast Amateur at least one more time. I feel like Davis Chatfield wants one more shot at the Northeast Amateur after almost winning it last year. If it wasn't for that 7 on the second hole in the final round, it might have been a different story. But we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do. So there is that. College golf season is underway, thankfully. And I know you're excited about college golf. You've kind of gotten into it over the last year or so with us doing this. You kind of followed a little bit closer, but it's certainly interesting to see all these players, and then a lot of them come here, and then they go on the pro tour. So certainly interesting. It'll be fun to follow the college golf season, the spring season, which is the real, obviously the real season. NCAA tournament coming up down the road. There you go. Right, I know at URI and Bryant, they're still a month or so away, less than a month or so away from starting their college golf season. Obviously, it's freezing up here, but URI should have a decent spring season as well. Joe Brady, our friend Joe Brady, comments. He says, "Are the college golfers getting an extra year of eligibility because of COVID-19?" The answer is yes. They are. Um, yes, they are getting an extra year of eligibility. Due to COVID-19. That's why Davis Chatfield is in his second year. I mean, his fifth year. So he was able to come back one more year and play, or he could have graduated. He actually already graduated. He graduated earlier this year. Yes, they are getting an extra eligibility. Anyways, there is that. Yes, anyway, so there is that. They are getting extra year. Ability. Davis Chatfield, Andrew Leary are all getting, their extra year. Anyways, so that's kind of the local thing. There's not a ton going on. How was the Super Bowl Sunday fest at King with the Super Bowl Sunday golf tournament?
I'm not sure. I never made it down there because of the
I
weather.
thought you were going down there.
No, I was gonna go down there to have some beers with the boys, but I looked outside and it was starting to accumulate a little bit. So I was like, beers and snow don't mix. So I ended up staying home all day. Watched a little bit of TV before the Super Bowl. Obviously, watched the Waste Management and just watched the football game afterwards.
Exciting. It was crazy. It was crazy snow. We left Kirkbride later that night, and it was like, holy crap. It was definitely dangerous. Definitely a dangerous situation, especially after you had a few drinks. So there is that. Exciting news out of the USGA today was that Annika Sorenstam is playing in the U.S. Women's Open. So she qualified through winning the Senior Open last year. So there's that. So obviously, interesting time, slow time locally. But obviously, we're getting ready for the Northeast Golf Show in March 25th to 27th at Gillette Stadium. So we're going to be there. Links Drinks is going to be there. We're gearing up for that, and hopefully, a lot of other people will be there. There should be a lot of other companies there as well. And so that's coming up. Obviously, people going to the Connecticut Golf Show this weekend. Hopefully they'll get a good turnout as well. But there is that. PGA Tour this week. We're going to get into the Saudi stuff. We're trying to save that to near the end because there's just so much to go through. It's really a whole show worth. I joked with Rich earlier that we literally could start a new website just on this stuff, just because there's just so much to take into account. Obviously, we're not doing that, just for the record. But there's so much to get through and figure out that it's quite something. Every day is like new news. One of the speaking of news, just a a devastating video that broke this morning of Oakland Hill Country Club just getting completely engulfed in flames. I mean, I don't know if you watched any of those videos. I mean, obviously they'll rebuild the club, but I mean, all the golf memorabilia they lost, all the history they lost. It was just like I haven't seen anything about as far as how it started. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been following it that closely, but I saw the videos and I just had to post them right away. It was just an unbelievable fire this morning. Heartbreaking news, obviously. Oakland Hills, legendary historic golf course. They've hosted 6 U.S. Opens, 3 PGAs, and a Ryder Cup, I think, something like that. But it's just the videos were unbelievable from a news perspective.
A couple of women's events too. A couple of major women's events too.
Yeah, the videos were unbelievable. If you had a chance to watch them, we can't obviously show them on the podcast because, well, they're not really our videos. But I was able to embed them on our website. The videos are unbelievable. The whole place just torched. So I'm be interested to see how that started. I guess there's speculation that somebody could have lit it on fire, but I don't know how somebody lights a fire that big. Something must have happened. But anyway, devastating videos this morning out of Oakland Hill Country Club. The clubhouse goes down in flames. And if you get a chance to see the videos, check those out. And it's obviously incredibly sad, but it's also an incredible video. So there is that. So we had that up this morning, and hopefully, I mean, obviously they'll rebuild it. But like I said, who knows how much memorabilia and how much history has been lost in that clubhouse.
Well, they were trying to get the U.S. Open back there in the next, I think, 3 or 4 years, I think. So, I mean, who knows what that does to their chances now. They said it started in the attic. Hopefully there were people there to kind of mad dash and grab some stuff out of the archives over there. At least a little bit of something. But yeah, who knows what their chances are of hosting another major in the next, whatever it may be. They said the golf course wasn't really touched. But yeah, it started in the attic on the roof, and then it went left and right, which is crazy. I saw the ending video of it, and pretty much the whole place except for the extreme right side was all torched up. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Historic place. It's sad, especially with all the memorabilia and stuff in there from the past tournaments. So we're gonna see if they're gonna host another major.
Well, like you said, it's probably not gonna be for a while if they don't have a clubhouse now. Who knows how fast?
Well, I mean, not for nothing. It's a private club. Like they can rebuild a clubhouse and before golf season starts. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. But who knows? I was listening to some reporter on Golf Today on Golf Channel, and he said, "Who knows? They've been vying for one for a while because of their history. 6 men's tournaments. I think they held a women's U.S. Open or something, or a women's senior Open or something like that. So who knows what that does to their chances."
So yeah, incredibly sad video. Probably hurts their chances, but like you said, they're a private club. They're a historic course, so I'm sure they're going to get. They can probably get it rebuilt.
They can probably have that
quickly.
thing knocked down and be all good by what? May 1st, June 1st, maybe.
I don't know about that, but they'll get it back. They'll get it back up. It's just like I said, they're going to rebuild the clubhouse, so I'm not worried about that. It's just how much stuff did they lose in that fire. But the videos are incredible. If you're into that kind of thing, obviously it's sad. No one was hurt, at least that I saw. So that's a positive, obviously. But the videos are incredible, sad but incredible as well. If you're into that type of thing, and certainly was amazing, unbelievable to watch. So there's that. Speaking of professional golf locations, the PGA Tour is at Riviera this week, famed Riviera, and quite a leaderboard. I mean, I think all the top 10 players are playing. No Bryson DeChambeau, obviously, as we reported, he dropped out supposedly due to injury. But we'll get more into that later. But leaderboard is incredible. The field, the course looks amazing. And kudos to Joaquin Neiman, who apparently just torched the course in this afternoon, shot a 63 to lead. And then other than that, Rich, I'll let you provide some analysis and some scoreboard watching. But everyone was right there. Spieth, Scheffler, Morikawa, JT. They're all right there. It should be another amazing weekend of golf.
Yeah, he torched it at 8 under. Playing really well. That course is is a nasty test. Those greens are insane. They're pretty much like glass. Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Cameron Young, Max Homa, defending champion Max Homa. They're all tied for second at 5 under. CT Pan, Morikawa, Kokrak. We'll have more on him and at the end of the show. Justin Thomas, they're all tied for 6th at 4 under. Let's see. Adam Scott, 3 under. Dylan Fratelli, 3 under. Keegs is 2 under. Let me go down. Tony Finau's 2 under. Rahm, 2 under. Schauffele, 2 under. I was actually just looking at the at ESPN, and they actually put Cantlay on top of Rahm in their own personal golf rankings, which is a little bit interesting. I mean, not too crazy given the fact that Cantlay has been pretty much lights out since the Ryder Cup, or actually lights out since the beginning of last year, because he won the FedEx Cup too. So my hopeful last week to win the Waste Management, Sahith Theegala, he's at 2 under. Hopefully he can get another like top 10 or top 15. Schauffele 2 under. Let's see what else we got. Abraham Answer 2 under. Matt Kuchar 2 under. Rory's 2 under. Zalatoris is a favorite amongst a lot of the Golf Channel guys for this week. Let's see what else we got.
He's been quiet this year, huh, Zalatoris?
I know. I mean, he made such a bomb run last year, finishing second at the Masters, right. And the lead up to it, he was playing lights out. So yeah, he's definitely cooled off. We'll see. Hopefully he has to keep it hot because he's got to keep his card, keep his card. Joel Damon is at 1 under. I don't know if you saw. Did you see him and Harry Higgs take the tops off at 16 when Harry Higgs made birdie?
Yeah. What did you think? What did you think of that as a golf fan? I mean, not so much them taking their shirts off, but just the hole in one thing with people throwing beer cans and stuff. What do you think of that? It's causing some ruffles in the world of golf. I thought it was funny for that one. I don't want that every week, obviously, but for that one situation,
that's the thing. It's a 1 week thing. I think it's awesome. I think for that 1 week, that one event gets people to watch Riviera. That gets people to watch the tournament before the Masters. It gets them to watch the tournament before the U.S. Open. It gets them to watch, the Tournament of Champions at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? That 1 week a year, just go nuts. It's all younger kids our age, and we're probably like at the top of the table at the Waste Management as far as like a hole 16 is concerned. Probably like 37, 30, 36, 38 the most, down to like in the mid 20s. 1 week in a year, that's awesome. I thought the 2 hole-in-ones were fantastic. I don't think anybody made a hole-in-one since 2015, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So that's awesome. Then Damon, or I forget who birdied it, Damon or Higgs, and they took the tops off. I thought that was awesome to get in the spirit. But yeah, like you said, 1 weekend a year. That one weekend keeps the interest for I mean pretty much the whole year, golf wise. Aside from like the stupid tournaments. But yeah, I'm completely okay with it. A lot of old as Foreplay calls it, old man golf. A lot of old man golf were disgusted by it, obviously. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't see any reason with it. I thought it was awesome. It was a crazy scene, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty crazy that they had a clean out. It was kind of like it reminded me of when somebody gets a hat trick in hockey when everyone throws the hats on the ice and the ice is like a mess. And it was similar. Oh, yeah. It was similar to that, except for with obviously beer cans. And Lord knows what else. But yeah, I thought it was funny. I know people didn't really like it. Like I said, for that, like you said, for that 1 week, a year. I don't need that every week. Every time someone gets a hole-in-one.
I mean, not for nothing. Like golf for
that 1 week, it's all right.
Even with these young guys like Max Homa doing the roasting on the Twitter, and I hate to plug another show, but like even with Foreplay, like Foreplay's trying to introduce the new generation of golf. So you got the Higgs, the Damons, the Kisners, stuff like that, Max Homa, all those guys. they all rub. Even with those guys, like old man golf still tends to take over. Golf is sometimes stuffy and boring and stuff like that. It's nice to change it up every once in a while and try to get the interest back in, because for a while their ratings were terrible. Like not even pre-COVID, but like it like when Tiger took his break the first time. So it's good to see that they're trying to. I know it's a cliche, but like grow the game. So it's nice.
Yeah, that's the same thing that players say about when they're jumping towards to go play for the Saudi. It's all about growing the game. Well, we'll see. So anyway, so that's what's going on the PGA Tour. Obviously, all of this is under a large, dark cloud known as I think it's had like 4 different names, the Saudi Golf Super League. And all I have written here on my little rundown sheet that I put together for the show is PGA Tour versus Saudi, and under it I just have chaos, because that's pretty much what's been going on with it over the last week plus or so. I know we spent most of last week's show talking about it because there were developments. There's more developments this week. There's more developments today. And I mean, we literally could start a new website just to cover this. Again, not that we are, but we could. And it's just complete chaos. So we're going to try to make sense of it. We're going to try to break it down, see what's what, give some projections as to who is probably leaving. I know Rich has some thoughts on that. Supposedly they've hit 20 players and they're getting ready to launch. There's some reporting on that. So we're going to get into all of that. After this quick commercial break, we'll discuss the Saudi stuff and everything else after this commercial break. Stay tuned. This is the Golf Dudes Podcast. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
When we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National, you could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to the Golf Dudes Podcast, presented by Lynx Drinks. Lynx Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. The transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice, all stirred up into one refreshing beverage for you to enjoy. Check out Lynx Drinks at country clubs and liquor stores near you. And once again, good luck to our friends at Lynx Drinks this weekend over at the Connecticut Golf Show. If you're going, be sure to stop in and say hello, and we'll be certainly hanging out with them in about a month or so at the Northeast Golf Show, which is being held March 25th to the 27th at Gillette Stadium. It's actually inside the Patriots practice facility in the bubble there, right in front of you when you drive into the Patriot Place. So we're looking forward to that. We haven't quite started planning yet for it, but we're getting to that point within the next few days to a week, and we'll let you know what we're planning on doing. We're going to try to do some content, thoughts, and other things coming up within the next week once Rich and I sit down and plan it out, as now it's about a month away. So we're excited for that. But we'll get to that later. What also is exciting from a content standpoint is this PGA Tour versus Saudi stuff. And like I said before the break, I literally just have written down on my little rundown here, chaos, because that's pretty much what has emerged over the last week, or the last 2 days. Today, I'm not even sure what time frame you want to put on it, but it's pretty much chaos. And this whole tournament at Riviera is obviously fascinating. It's great golf, but it's all under a dark cloud of, is this guy leaving? Is that guy leaving? Jason Kokrak, I didn't see it, but supposedly has Golf Saudi on his bag. He's supposed to be one of the guys that are leaving, according to Dan Rappaport. You have the Phil Mickelson stuff. Apparently, Mickelson did a book with Alan Shippuck, who's a relatively well-known golf writer, and he continued to trash the PGA Tour and saying things that apparently don't seem to be really true or make much sense. People are pushing back on them. You have Justin Thomas today in his press conference. He trashed Phil Mickelson, he was trash for Mickelson. Other guys are standing by the PGA Tour. Other guys are clearly on their way out, like Adam Scott, Mickelson, DeChambeau supposedly is on his way out, Lee Westwood, and others. So it's just complete chaos. The whole thing is chaos. Rich, I don't know where exactly you wanted to start because it's just one big thing of chaos, but you can pick up on any of those 56 points that I just made because it's all chaos.
So we learned this morning that Rahm is sticking with the PGA.
Mhm.
He made an actual statement about it. Like you said, JT is calling these guys clowns, so obviously we know where he stands. I don't even know. I don't even really know how to address this, but they say they have 20 players. I would be willing to make a hefty bet that Bryson and Phil are 1 and 2. They got their, what's it called? Their fan getters, or however I can't even think of the name right now. They got their number getter as far as their 2 superstars. Not so much Phil being a superstar, but like the star power of it. Today you said Kokrak came out and said that the Gulf Saudi thing. He's also best friends with Pat Perez. Given the way Pat Perez is playing the past month or so, I don't think he's going to leave the tour. But that's you think about that too. He's best friends with Kokrak. Their wives are best friends.
Is Pat Perez playing? I'm sorry. Is Pat Perez playing good or bad? I don't follow.
He's playing great. He's been playing great the
okay.
past month.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he hit top 10 at Pebble. No, two top 10s and like a top 20 or something like that in his last 3 starts or something like that. So, and I think I forget it was Torrey. I think Torrey Pines, he was like tied for 3rd, I think, or something like that. So yeah, he's playing great. I don't really see him leaving, but then again, his best friend might leave. And if anybody knows, Pat Perez is a big personality in the PGA Tour. He's not afraid to say what he thinks, among other things. So we'll see. Adam Scott, whatever, go, leave. I don't think the PGA is going to really miss you that much. Lee Westwood, I wouldn't really care if Lee leaves, but the fact that he's had his last 2 years, I think, have been absolutely phenomenal.
He's had a bit of a resurgence.
He's had a great resurgence the past like 1, 2, 3 years, whatever it is. So I'd be kind of a little bit sad to see him go. Just given the fact that I used to watch him as I was growing up, and it's nice to see the quote unquote older man get a little bit of revenge on the board. Trying to think of who else. Poulter would be a good get too for them.
And then what about Henrik Stenson? His name is now being tossed around.
I guess. I mean, Henrik Stenson hasn't been a thing for what?
Since his British Open win, right? Since he beat Phil in the British
Open.
Open.
Was that 16, right? 17?
He hasn't done much since then that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard it. I've heard his name this past season, but like I haven't heard him in like 3 or 4 seasons. So I don't really think that's much. Poulter would be a good one. I think they said that they offered him 35 million to go over there. And I mean that pales in comparison to Bryson's, what was it, 165 million?
Yeah. Something ridiculous.
But also you got the Bruins just scored. Thank you. That pales in comparison. I mean, obviously he does not hold a candle to what the traffic, the attitude, the comments, all that crap that Bryson brings. If he even stays healthy, we can talk about that too. But yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to bet Bryson, Phil, probably Kokrak. I mean, that they're not even in the same classes as the other two. He's not even in the same class as the other two. But I would look for another, maybe like a Poulter or a Lee Westwood, or none of the young guys are going to go. Shoffley, Neiman, Cantlay, none of these guys are going to go. So I'm not going to lie. If this does, and the report is that the the league's going to start the week of the players,
Correct.
which
That
is
was reported yesterday.
absolutely thug gangster of the Saudi league, because that's like their unofficial first major of the year. I think that is so gangster. It's going to force people to choose because they want to see the new product, but they also want to see the players. But I think they'll be more interested in the new product to see what it is. You know what I mean?
So
I think it's absolutely genius by the Saudis, or by Greg Norman, should I say?
No, the Saudis. That's fine. So what the thing is? So I don't know if anything's been announced. If I missed not that I get the Saudi league press releases, but if I missed anything, where's their TV coverage going? Like, how is?
I don't know who has their rights. I'm not gonna. I have no
TV
idea.
Deal? Is Golf Channel going to show the Saudi Golf League and then cut out
to go
to the PGA Tour? That'd be funny.
I would not be surprised if an outlet like DAZN, DAZN.
I never heard of it, but okay.
They have a lot of the Canelo Alvarez fights and stuff like that. A lot of WBC events. Maybe I can't even think. I can't even speak. A streaming sports service, something like that. Obviously, I don't think anybody on cable is going to take a chance on that. I mean, even the lowest of the low sports channels wouldn't take a risk on that. So I would probably look for it. I'm going to look right now. I would assume it's probably going to be on a streaming service. And that streaming service is going to have to give a trial away. Nobody's going to pay for a streaming service that has a what's it called? An experimental league on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's what I'm interested to see how they're going to get their content out. The other part of this too, there's a few more. Obviously, there's a lot of parts of this. Is these guys that are leaving, like Phil, Adam Scott, as Rich drops out video-wise. But a lot of these guys, one question that has come up, especially with Phil, making all these comments and trashing the PGA Tour. He said he had an insane quote that I'm reading to Alan Shipnuck. I guess they wrote.
He was all fired up.
So he has this insane quote. He's talking about the Saudis. He's saying they killed Washington Post reporter and U.S. resident Jamal Khashoggi. I hope I pronounced his name right. I'm sure I didn't, but anyway, they killed Khashoggi and have a horrible record on human rights because of continue in an interview that Shipnuck said took place in November. So that's just a couple months ago. They execute people over there for being gay. Knowing all this, why would I even consider it? Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reshape how the PGA Tour operates. So that was just an insane quote to me, and it's one of many insane quotes. Apparently, Mickelson helped hire a lawyer. You sent me that article today. Golf Digest reported he hired a lawyer. So I guess my question is, and not that I was ever the biggest Phil Mickelson fan, but I certainly respected what he does for the game, what he's done for the game. What does this do to? I mean, his legacy is his legacy tarnished? He's already in the PGA Tour, the World Golf Hall of Fame. They're going to kick him out.
No, I don't think it does.
I was half joking, but
I don't think it does, because you and I have been following along, but maybe some of our people haven't who follow us. The PGA is very anal about their what's it called? Their media rights. Mm-hmm. We've posted stuff on the website on our website and posted stuff on Twitter and social media that has been taken down because we don't have permission to share it because it's the rights of the PGA Tour. They hold these guys hostage. Type in PGA Tour media rights or something like that in Google, and you can spend a day reading about how these guys are not allowed to even sell themselves, like their own websites, their own, branding, stuff like that. Like they are so, the PGA is so uptight about their media rights. It's insane. Now that takes a lot of pressure off the players because the PGA does their marketing for them. But they are very, very anal about their media rights because they pay a lot for them. and Phil goes into the article that I think it was on Golf Digest about how they have no rights when they're on tour. So to a lot of guys, especially guys trying to branch out and trying to make money, that's going to make them possibly turn to other leagues.
Yes, but at the same token, the PGA Tour wouldn't be a league if they didn't take control of the media rights, because then everyone's going to watch their own streams. Who's going to watch, the PGA Tour coverage? All the leagues are similar. Everyone owns.
Not as bad as the
Well,
PGA.
the PGA Tour
is
single.
They're real uptight.
Yeah, so it's all obviously fascinating. So you don't think that tarnishes Phil's legacy?
I don't think so. I mean, he's what, 50? He's 51, 50. I mean, he takes this deal. He's not going to be able to play on the senior tour, and I feel like he probably could crush every senior tour record there is, which would be nice. He could probably break that in like 2 years. But I mean, I doubt he really cares about that.
Clearly, clearly he does not.
No, I mean, he's far and away the better of the golfers in that league. So yeah, no, I don't think it tarnishes it at all.
I mean, it is interesting. Actually, Tiger was asked about this yesterday during his press conference, Wednesday during his press conference, and he said that media rights has always been kind of an issue that we're trying to work out with the tour, and we've had meetings about it and different things. So, but like you said, it's all about having conversations and constantly trying to make it better for the tour, but also making it better for them as individuals. So it is interesting. Now, the PGA Tour, seemingly in response to this, has altered a lot of because you sent me an article earlier. I actually saw it tweeted. That the PGA Tour is actually all sweeping changes to the tour and things that they're going to do differently, including more team golf events and a return to a calendar year schedule. So there's not going to be any wraparound wraparound schedules anymore. So all this, in theory, would seem to be a response to what's going on with the Saudi Golf League. So I just read the article a few minutes ago. But what do you think of the PGA Tour's changes and the continued changes that are going to be probably made because of the threat of the Saudi Golf League, which now seems pretty imminent?
Yeah, no, they're absolutely. I said this a while ago on one of our shows. I said there has to be more team golf. They got the Zurich in was it TPC Louisiana, I think.
Yep.
That's a fantastic event. The team golf aspect is awesome. I forget how it goes. Like each format goes for the 4 days, but that's a fantastic event. You can listen in onto the guys and see who hits which shot and see how like one player might play a better draw than the other guy, or the one guy can hit it farther, especially on like an alternate shot format, stuff like that. But it's really fascinating. I think they should have maybe 3 team events throughout the year. That doesn't mean everybody has to play in all of them, but like give golfers 3 options to play with partners. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think the team aspect of golf is fascinating. I actually like when we play and member guests and stuff like that. As much as the alternate shot sucks, it actually makes good shots that much better when you play with a partner and you're leaning on your partner and stuff like that. So I like that aspect of it.
Do you think in the future we're going to have a Ryder Cup type event, the PGA Tour players versus the Saudi Golf League?
Imagine that, or like another, or like a Ryder Cup President's Cup version. That would be awesome. That would be, I mean, I don't really think it'd be very fair, because obviously they're gonna, besides Bryson, they're gonna have a lot of older guys. Obviously, like I said, a lot of the young guys are going to stay with the PGA. So maybe down the road, like 10 years down the road, if it's still around, then maybe, yeah. But that would be definitely kind of cool.
You never know. Of course, that would mean that the PGA Tour and the Saudi League actually have to get along, and that doesn't.
I was just going to say they have to coexist.
That doesn't seem like it's happening.
No.
Very, very much. So either way, it's complete chaos. The whole thing is in chaos. No one knows who knows what news is going to break tomorrow. There'll be some other report tomorrow. If they do launch at the same weekend of the players, that would be a real boss move by Greg Norman. That'd be a really slap in the face. But they certainly could. It sounds like that's what was reported. So who knows what's going to happen? It should be interesting. There's certainly no lack of content. That's for sure. And then we'll see what other players do. Dustin Johnson supposedly was offered. All these guys are offered. So it'll be interesting to see when that list is actually unveiled of who these players supposedly are that are joining this, that are jumping ship. So who knows what's to come? But certainly for us as content people, it's certainly there's no shortage. So unless you have anything else, who are you on the Daytona 500 on Sunday?
I was watching the duels before the Bruins came on. I don't know. I mean, that Daytona 500 is really wide open. I mean, there's obviously like Vegas favorites. It's one of my favorite times of the year. That it signifies like the end of football, which football is like my third favorite sport. So I'm not sad to see football go, but that also marks like the beginning of spring. The following weekend or two weekends from the Super Bowl usually is the Daytona 500. That marks spring. It's going to get warm. There's going to be no more snow. But yeah, usually the 500 is usually won by like somebody you don't even know, just because of the crashes. You know, the crashes wipe out half the field, and somebody from the back who missed the crashes ends up winning. My guy's Brad Keselowski, so I'd like to see somebody I'd like to see him win it. Just no Kyle Busch or Denny Hamlin or any of those guys.
So there you go. That is what he has for the Daytona 500 this weekend. I will be watching the Providence College basketball Friars and a bunch of
So
other
how
things.
about that? Let's do that real quick. That was a very sad self-inflicting loss for them, huh?
Yeah, I mean Villanova was a good team. What are you gonna do?
They're a good team. They couldn't hit crap from three, and they fouled everything that walked.
That kid Colin Gillespie didn't miss a shot.
Oh, how annoying was he, dude? That was bad.
Every time PC got it back, he would come down and hit a shot. He's a great player. So but just as Cooley said, last time I checked, they're still in first place. It's only
they should still be inside the top 15, right?
Oh yeah, I mean now if they lose Sunday,
maybe 12.
If they lose Sunday, all bets are off. But if they
they're unranked, aren't they? Butler.
Yeah, they're not very good. But again, it's a road game. It's college basketball on the road and stuff. So if they lose Sunday, all bets are off. But if they win Sunday, they might still be in the top 10. I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah, you think so? Wow.
I don't know how bad a loss to Villanova is gonna hurt them.
Well, yeah, they were 10th, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it won't make that much of a difference. Maybe they just flip flop spots or something.
But it was an awesome atmosphere. The building was rocking. I posted a video of the national anthem. It was super. It was the whole crowd was singing. You couldn't even hear the anthem singer. It was amazing. So it was cool to be part of a game like that because we've gone through a lot of years of shit just to get one game like that a year. And hopefully there'll be more. They have 2 home games left. Next Wednesday they'll be buzzing when Xavier comes to town, and then the senior night game is the next Saturday night. It's an 8:30 p.m. game against Creighton, so the place will be buzzing for that. So
no matter what, Creighton's always a good draw.
Yeah. So then it's off to then they play one road game. They close the season on the road against Villanova, which could be for all the marbles.
Imagine! I didn't know that. Christ.
Yeah,
Wow.
The last regular season game is at the Wells Fargo Center against Villanova.
Jesus.
But PC always plays good there. So.
True. No.
We'll see. I mean, it's fun. I mean, they're gonna be no worse problem, barring like an epic collapse. They'll be no worse than a 2 or 3 seed going into Madison Square Garden.
I was gonna say no worse than a 4, I would think, right?
Yeah. So either way, they'll be all right. And the nice thing is we're not even playing for like to get into the NCAA tournament. Usually at this time we have to win games to get into the tournament.
Yeah.
We're already in the tournament. We're just playing for a seed.
For pride, really. For seed, yeah.
We're just playing for a seed. So I mean, I think Lenardi still has us, even with the loss to Villanova. He still has us like a 4 or 5 seed. So
that's fantastic. Yeah.
So if they went out, I was talking to my friend at Kirkray on during the Super Bowl party, and he goes, you do know that if PC wins the Big East championship, they'll be a number 1 seed. I said there's. There's no way. He goes,
could
yes.
you
He goes,
imagine?
absolutely, they will be. He said, he goes, absolutely, they will be. Because if they win the Big East championship at Madison Square Garden, they'll be a number 1 seed, and one of the 4 number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament. Absolutely, they will be.
That could you imagine that? I mean, not for nothing. Obviously, 16s have beaten ones, but I mean that would be like an easy street to like the third round. Figuratively.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the best path to go. I mean, now granted, I know 16s have beaten ones, like I said, but really, that would be like the easiest path. You know what I mean? Could you imagine if PC was a number 1 seed or even a 2? I mean, that's just insane.
Yep. So, I mean, he said it. I couldn't believe it, but then when you think about it, I mean, yeah, they probably would.
They have a lot of good. They got a lot of good wins.
So that'd be obviously that's a long way away, but it'll be pretty exciting. Certainly excited for me. I'll be going to both of the next 2 games, Xavier and Creighton, because you gotta enjoy it. Because like I said, we go through a lot of shit seasons just to get like one incredible season like this.
Yep.
So, and they still only have 3 losses. That's the amazing thing.
I couldn't believe that. Like I'm not as big of a fan of PC basketball as you are, but like some of those numbers that were flashing across the screen the other night, like 2 losses, like their record is amazing. And the numbers that these kids are, the number these kids are compiling are insane. It's absolutely crazy.
Yep. So it's a lot of fun. Hopefully they'll close strong, and then we'll see what happens. But it'll be a 2 or 3 seed at worst, and even a 3 seed seems like a significant drop.
Oh, 3 seed would be fantastic.
I mean in the Big East tournament.
Yeah.
Even that seems like a significant drop. So there'll be a 1 or 2 seed going into the Garden, but they always play well. The whole place.
Oh, no question. They'll be no worse than a 2, I think.
The whole place will be PC fans. They'll all go down there. So it'll be Providence, like South or whatever, or North or whatever the hell New York is. So that'll be exciting. Then their location right now, if the NCAA tournament to start today, then already has them playing in Buffalo. So I bet a lot of people would make the road trip to go see them playing the NCAA tournament in Buffalo.
6-hour ride, 7-hour ride. That's not too bad.
And plus, they have 2 games there in that location, so it's not like a one and done thing. It's the weekend. So not that Buffalo is any great place to go, but it's close by, relatively. So
yeah,
we'll see. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited. I was pumped to be at the game on Tuesday. Obviously, it didn't end the way we wanted, but it was still cool to be there. Top 10 game. I was at the last top 10 game back in 2016 as a media person, so it's fun to be at this one. So we'll see. Exciting times. Hopefully the hockey team can get their shit together.
I was going to say the complete opposite of the hockey team. They're just they're so aggravating. I doubt barring them going on a run right now and then winning the Big East tournament, which obviously PC basketball did that before. I don't even know if they're going to make the Frozen Four, the hockey tournament. I think they're sitting at like 17 or 18 right now. They can't crack the top. I think it's the top 16 that go. They're stupid losses, dumb plays. Lehman's a great coach. I don't know if it's the coaching or it's the talent or what, but it's very, very, very.
All right, your audio kept dropping out, so I don't know what just happened. I know that was on your end, but anyways, on that note, I'm not sure what's going on with him, but anyway, on that note,
I'm back.
Oh, your audio kept dropping. I don't know.
I don't know. My AirPods keep disconnecting for some reason. I have no idea.
Your video is not there. Well, we're wrapping up the show anyway, so don't worry about it. But unless you have anything else to add.
No, I'm good.
All right, so thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Be sure to check out our content throughout the weekend. We have we have college golf. We have Vinny Papa playing down in Georgia at the, let me see the name of the tournament, the Rocket Tour Players Championship at the University of Georgia Golf Course. So we'll be covering that. Obviously, college golf resumes next weekend. Will Dixon resumes next week, and a lot of other things going on. And we also are getting inching closer to the Northeast Golf Show down at Gillette Stadium, and we're excited to be part of that for that weekend. It should be a lot of fun. And then before you know it, it'll be golf season, and we'll have tons of things going on golf season-wise. So certainly getting all that ready as well. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Stay tuned for content on golfnewsride.com throughout the weekend. Make sure you like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're over 1,000 followers now on Facebook. So thank you to everybody for following along. And also make sure you subscribe to our morning e-blast that goes out every morning at approximately 10 a.m. With the top stories of the day and some other stuff as well. This has been the Golf Dudes podcast. We will talk to you all next week. Lord knows what the PGA Tour versus Saudi battle is going to be next week. Lord only knows. So we'll have more of that, and then obviously as we continue to get closer to the season and things of that nature. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll talk to you this weekend on Golf News. I hope you all have a great weekend, and peace. I think it's done. Well, I fucked that up. God damn it. So how did the overall? No, it's very easy. I said it to Keyshawn too that I was worried that I was going to do that, and I did it. I forgot to. You're supposed to unmute this mic. You're supposed to mute this mic during like the opening, and I forgot to unmute it. So for the first 10 minutes of the show, you can't hear what Rich says. So I'll just edit that out and post the clip. I knew I was going to do that too. I even said it this morning to Keyshawn. No, I did. So that was sucked. But it was fine. It was pretty easy. I mean, I didn't have any problems otherwise. It was easy getting from one thing to the other.
Easier than the other system?
Yeah, because it's less crowded. The other system had shit all over the place. Remember, there was all these screens and all these gadgets and things. This is pretty.
None of any of this shit. You think they would just make it simple?
Yeah. The only thing I'd like to do, especially I wanted to produce it, is if I can move this closer to me, if that's even, I don't know if that's possible or not, just so I'm not reaching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe next week we can just move just a little bit. Let's just move this stuff up a little bit. That way it's not such a task.
Yeah.
So reach it. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't have a problem with it. I was just annoyed that I forgot to unmute his mic. That's going to look terrible. But I'll cut it out and whatever. It was fine. It's pretty easy. Now, Keyshawn said if you have guests, it's a whole nother